Hi guys, so today's video is going to be another makeup tutorial like you can see because there's nothing, so we always start from only foundation. And this video is actually going to be kind of like a feline look, so cat-ish, cat eye look for sure. And basically it's because it's just like a look that I love. I love the cat eye effect, and also we can't really see right now, but on my shirt there's like a tiger, so I thought it was kind of themed if I did a cat eye. So if you want to see how I do it, please keep watching. The first product is my new favorite primer, which is not actually meant to be, but whatever. It's a Paint Pot by MAC in color Soft Ochre. So I'm just going to apply it pretty much all over my eyelids. It's very close to my natural skin color, as you can see. And I'm trying to blend it in as much as possible so that it doesn't show too much, but if it's not perfectly blended and like not perfectly smooth, it's not really an issue because we're going to apply eyeshadow right after. Taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette and the color Hot Chocolate with a pointed crease dome kind of brush. It's a little bit fluffy, but it's still kind of pointed. You're just going to go and dab the color right into your crease, but not only dabbing. You can see right now that I dab it to apply the pigment, but then I just kind of like brush it off to kind of blend the whole thing and to make it smoother. Next, taking the color Hot and Cold in an angled brush. It's a little bit like dense. I'm just gonna go and dab again Hot and Cold on the outer kind of half of my eye. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of frame right here, but basically you just want to apply it on the outer half of your eyelid and also right under your brow bone. I think I zoomed a little too much because I'm a little bit out of frame, so I really apologize for that, but you see the point. Next, taking the color Treasure and a shader brush, I'm just going to go ahead and apply Treasure on the inner half of my eyelid and also just a little bit right under my brow bone to kind of highlight the bone of where your eyebrows are. Next, using a blender brush, I'm just going to go ahead and blend the whole look to make it smoother, but not too much so as to get rid of that kind of like defined crease. It's not quite a cut crease, but it's not as smooth as a normal crease. It's still a little bit defined. Now to get rid of all those fallouts, I'm taking a fan brush and just kind of sweeping everything away like a broom. Now I'm going to go ahead for the drama, so the cat liner. I'm taking Stilla's waterproof eyeliner, so it's a liquid eyeliner. It's very precise, very pointy, but it's still possible to kind of mess it up, but I find it's the best liner, the liquid at least, to use. And I'm using liquid liner instead of gel liner because I find that gel liner tends to be, like, if you mess it up, you're really in trouble because getting rid of a messed up gel liner is the worst thing ever. And I feel like a liquid liner is not going to smudge as much. So I'm just going to use the liquid liner to do my upper lid and the inside and outside wings basically. Then taking a black pencil, I'm taking Khol and Contour by Bourgeois Paris in Ultra Black. I'm going to both line on the inside rim, so my water line, but also right under my lash line. I'm going to also line it because I really want to have like the whole contour of my eye lined in black. That's the point of the cat eye effect. And you really have to sharpen it because if it's not sharpened, that's where you tend to do a line that's way too thick. And I'm really trying to be careful here because I'm the messiest person like ever, and I really don't want to screw this up. In case you guys haven't noticed, I left the outside wing for the end because I really want to have kind of continuity between the lower line and the upper line. So I really wanted to have the bottom line done before actually finishing up my upper eyeline. How dramatic you want the line to be, the wing actually, is really up to you. I wanted to have pretty much a long wing, and also because I tend to screw up a lot, like I always leave the filling in till the end because for some reason I'm so clumsy that I actually usually manage to ruin there. Here I'm just going to touch up the inside wing. Again, this also is really up to you. I didn't want it to be too dramatic. I wanted like a subtle inside wing, so I didn't do it like too much. I already mentioned I was going to fill in with a black Khol pencil my inner waterline. I leave this to the end because I find it's more of a finishing touch, although doing it before wouldn't change anything in the look. Taking a smudge brush, I'm just going to lightly brush the line on the bottom of my eyes, mostly upwards because I don't want it to look like I have dark circles into my eyes and have black all over the place. So upwards always. Now since we're looking for dramatic lash, using my Tarte eyelash curler, I'm going to go ahead and curl those lashes. I guess you guys don't really need me to actually tell you how to curl lashes. You do that before mascara, and basically it's just going to give more curve. For mascara, I'm taking 2 of them. First, I'm taking the Real by Benefit for length mostly, and MAC's False Lashes because it's really one of my favorite right now for volume and curve. Here is Benefit the Real. I always apply this one first because I find it's best because it gives you like a really good length. And again, mascara, like the technique of how you apply your mascara is really up to you. And since I always apply mascara kind of like a retarded person, and I always manage to put it all over the place, I am not the person to tell you how to apply your mascara. For my eyebrows, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Whiz pencil in Brunette. And because I don't want them to be too intense, because that's just the kind of person I am, I just kind of outline the outside of my eyebrows. I'm not filling them in, just kind of drawing the contour of them, like just drawing their shape basically, which I'm just gonna kind of blend in with a little brush afterwards. Here I messed up. I told you I'm clumsy, I always am. But basically, even if you don't put any pencil on the inside, once you use that little brush like I'm doing right now to kind of brush your eyebrows, it kind of just fills them in naturally without being too intense. To start off my face makeup, I'm going to take Sephora's Lightening and Smoothing Concealer in Clear Light. So it's very light, and I'm taking my concealer airbrush to kind of blend the whole thing. And I'm going to apply concealer basically on my cheekbones up to around my brows in kind of like a C shape. Also on my nose bridge, on my cupid's bow, my lips cupid's bow, and as you guys can see here, I'm just kind of doing a little artistic design that kind of looks like a star, so you can just have fun with a cupid's bow. And just so you guys know, this is a concealer, so it has a little bit of coverage to it too. It blends really well into foundation. It's not a liquid highlighter, it's really a concealer. For those of you that are not aware, this is actually kind of like a knockoff of Yves Saint Laurent's Touche Éclat. To be honest, I really love this concealer. It was really cheap, like 20 bucks I think, around more or less. And I don't see why I should get the Touche Éclat, maybe because I've never really tried it. But basically, like I really love this product, and I don't see the need to buy the actual real version of it that's really expensive. Now, if you guys saw my MAC haul, you'll know that because of my very fair complexion, it's very hard for me to find a good contouring because it's always too orange or too dark, so especially for liquid contouring, I find. That's why I got this MAC concealer, which is Matchmaster Concealer in the shade 5. It's a little bit orange, but once it's blended, I find that for my complexion, it's very perfect for contouring. And I'm using my dual fiber airbrush finish for foundation brush by MAC also. Starting to blend around my nose bridge, I usually use my fingers because I find that brushes tend to not blend it properly. And I find that with my fingers, it just blends more naturally and I'm more satisfied with the results. For the rest of my face, which is basically in the hollow of my cheeks and around my face in the in the usual 3 shape, I usually take the brush from MAC that I just mentioned. And when I'm not fully satisfied or I find there's too much products, that's where I'm going to also use my products, especially around the jawline. I find that it doesn't blend as well as I would like it to. Because even though the result of that brush is really amazing and natural and kind of airbrushish, it's very, you can even see it when I'm applying it, that it's so fluffy. It's not like as hard, so for blending in hard places, I find that my fingers usually do the job in the end. To kind of cool down the concealer, since the concealers tend to be a little bit more orange, I'm taking my Tarte contouring brush, which is double-ended, and Tarte's Park Avenue Princess bronzer powder to kind of just apply it right over my liquid contouring, in this case, which was my concealer stick, to kind of like tone it down and make it less orangey, to put it more on the cold brown side. Taking back my concealer I got from Sephora, the Smooth and Brightening one, I'm just going to draw a little straight line right under where I wanted to sculpt the inside of my cheeks and blend it out very like in the straight line, just to make sure that it kind of gives this cut cheek effect and that it's very well sculpted. I feel like this kind of makes sure that the contouring is not too messy and more dramatic. Like, I just love how it makes your face look very sculpted. If you find that the line is way too straight, you can still take the brush from your concealer and try to unstraighten it and make it a little bit more messy. Here, taking my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, which was limited edition for Christmas, and a blush brush. I'm going to take the blush. Actually, it's called a bronzer. I think it's because they're kind of upside down on my thing. I'm not sure. I would have thought it was the Mood Exposure blush because it's kind of reddish. It's really not brown. The one at the other end though looked more brown to me, so now I'm kind of confused. But basically take a darker kind of reddish blush, not too red of course, but definitely not a bronzer because bronzer doesn't look good. Now taking a highlighting powder, and I'm using Dim Light from the same palette, the Hourglass one, and a little puffy highlighting brush to just apply highlighter pretty much everywhere I applied it before with the cream, like the Sephora concealer basically, which is not a cream highlighter, but that's how I use it, to just have a really nice shiny finishing touch. Now this is the part where I'm going to give you guys a choice. So one of them is going to be much more neutral, more because you know your eyes are already doing a pretty big statement with that meow effect. You can either just take a stand, make a statement and be like, you know what, I don't care if I should be wearing neutral right now. I'm actually going to wear something bold, something colorful, and it involves Cruella, who is of course the queen of bold statements, you know, the half white, half black hair thing. And the other one is going to be, of course, involving Velvet Teddy. So I'm going to show you two different options, and then it's up to you to choose which option fits your personality the most, or the occasion you're actually like using this look for. Starting off with a Whirl lip pencil from MAC, and this is actually the first thing I'm going to use for the more neutral look. I'm going to go ahead and outline my lips. Make sure to kind of fill them in, and not fully because I like to have kind of like a really subtle ombre effect, but it's not really for the ombre point. It's more about having at least a little part of my lips with only pure lady lipstick color that I'm trying to use. For my upper lips, I always use the little X technique because I find it gives a very defined, sharp upper lip, and that's really what I like. Then you're gonna go ahead and take MAC's Velvet Teddy lipstick and just apply it on your lips, basically. So this is the more neutral one with Velvet Teddy. You can see that it's like, well, more neutral basically. Now for a much more bolder option, like a more statement option, is gonna be with the red lips. So taking a deep red lip pencil, which is from Makeup Forever in the color 11C, I'm going to outline my lips. I know I told you that I would not be out of frame again. I guess I kind of lied because for some reason I wasn't paying attention when I was filming, and I kind of tend to voice over later on, so it was pretty much too late to redo this. Again, you really want to, if you like this sharp upper lip effect, try to do this little X here. That's going to make a very sharp definition for your upper lip. Again, using my fingers, I'm just going to go ahead and blend the whole lipstick pencil, actually. You can see I always, again, leave part of it nude. Now taking Nars's Cruella, which is a lipstick pencil, which is super big, but very precise to apply. I'm just going to apply Cruella basically everywhere, making sure to kind of blend the lip pencil with the lipstick properly, because they're kind of like a little bit different in tones, but they're still similar enough to be like compatible together. Now taking a concealer, I'm taking Kate Von D's concealer because you don't need a bright one, just a concealer that's going to be very close to your skin tone. I'm just going to go ahead and use an angled concealer brush to kind of apply lightly concealer all around my lips to just make sure everything looks sharp, no lines that are not precise, and pretty much just to kind of, it's just me trying to obtain perfection in my lips. So this is what like the statement option would look like with the red lips. So you can see it's much more bold. It's still not too much, I find, to my taste personally, because I love making a statement. Like, of course the eyes are really dramatic, but it's still not that bad when you look at it with the lips. So that's all for my makeup tutorial video. Personally, I really like the option with the red lips better because I just love making a statement. I love using colors, and to me, unless there's like blue, green, yellow on my eyes, there's no reason why I should be using a neutral lipstick. I'd rather just use something bold and like red or like purple or just any color basically. And I really love this like more feline like look. That's why I tried to do like cat eye that you can see. Mainly, I would say that the version with Velvet Teddy, which is much more neutral, is gonna be a little bit more like not feline, but like more. You can pull it off on like any day at the office. It's not that bad. Whereas this one is more like a femme fatale look, where you could use it more like on a night look, on a date night. Not for the office, because I feel like if you're gonna wear red at the office, you should be wearing something super, super plain on your eyes. So that would be maybe a little bit too much for that. but I still would love to pull that off on a daily basis for both looks. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys liked the video, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys!